Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
Hello everybody, my name is Marzena. Welcome to Top Polish Words. Today we will learn top 10 ways to prepare your travel. Okay, so here we go. Wybrać miejsce. Wybrać miejsce. To choose your destination. So one of the most important is wybrać miejsce. Wybrać miejsce means to choose your destination. Wybrać means to choose, and miejsce literally it means place, but of course here we mean like the place where you are going to. So wybrać miejsce altogether means to choose your destination, and for example you can say wybrałeś już miejsce na kolejne wakacje? Wybrałeś już miejsce na kolejne wakacje? Have you already chosen your next holiday destination? Wybrałeś już miejsce na następne wakacje? And of course it's Poland, and of course it's Krakow, Wrocław. I highly recommend Wrocław to you. So it's a wonderful city, and you can drink amazing beer at the city center. And there is also this Wrocław Tower, very big skyscraper. And it's like the only skyscraper there, which is very funny, and you can sleep for a pretty cheap money in a penthouse at the 46th floor. So be sure to try it out when you're in Poland. Kupić poradnik. Kupić poradnik. To buy a guidebook. Next very important thing is kupić przewodnik. Kupić przewodnik, well, kupić means to buy, and przewodnik can mean a guide as a person, but we are not buying a person here, or it can mean przewodnik as in guidebook, and that's the przewodnik we are talking about. So kupić przewodnik means to buy a guidebook. Once again, kupić przewodnik. Kupić przewodnik, to buy a guidebook. And I guess nowadays you will buy a digital guidebook, which is just easier to walk around. But it's a very good way to prepare for your trip, and a very good way to research as well. I know that we have internet and all the things on the internet, which is amazing, but still a guidebook is better prepared. So you can say to your travel buddy, kupisz przewodnik? Kupisz przewodnik? Will you buy a guidebook? So we can plan, we can start preparing, we can start planning. And kupisz przewodnik, and will you share it with me? Zaoszczędzić pieniądze. Zaoszczędzić pieniądze. To save money. Our next step is a very important one, and it's zaoszczędzić pieniądze. Zaoszczędzić pieniądze. Well, zaoszczędzić means to save, and pieniądze is money. So zaoszczędzić pieniądze altogether gives us to save money. And of course it's a very important step, not only for traveling, but many other things. For example, you can say, musimy zacząć oszczędzać pieniądze. We need to start saving money. Musimy zacząć oszczędzać pieniądze. And you probably noticed that I'm saying zaoszczędzić, and here I'm saying oszczędzać. There is this za part missing from the beginning. And that's okay, because zaoszczędzić is already a perfective form, while zacząć oszczędzać is the imperfective one. So it's not finished. It's not a finished action. But it's the same verb. Zarezerwować lot. Zarezerwować lot. To book a flight. Another important step is, of course, zarezerwować lot. Zarezerwować means to book. To book something. You can book a table, you can book a room, but here we are talking about something different. We are talking about lot, and lot means flight, a flight. So zarezerwować lot means to book a flight. So for example, if you already booked your flight, you can say zarezerwowałam lot do Paryża. Well, this time we are talking about Paris, but of course we want to talk about Warsaw as well. So if you already booked your flight, you can say zarezerwowałam lot do Krakowa. Zarezerwowałam lot do Krakowa. I booked a flight to Krakow. Zarezerwowałam lot do Krakowa. And actually zarezerwowałam is an ending for a girl. So if you're a guy, you don't want to say zarezerwowałam. You want to say zarezerwowałem. So the very ending changes from łam to łem. Łam, łem. Girl, guy. Łam, łem. Zarezerwowałam, zarezerwowałem. Podliczyć koszty. Podliczyć koszty. To research the costs. Another important phrase is podliczyć koszty. Podliczyć koszty means to calculate, or actually podliczyć means to calculate or to sum up, and koszty means just costs. So basically very similar to English, right? Koszty, costs, kind of the same sound. And podliczyć koszty all together you can translate as to research the costs or to calculate, to sum up the costs. And of course this is a very important thing to do, so before you start actually oszczędzać or to save money, you need to know how much you have to save in order to go somewhere. And that's when it comes in handy. So for example you can say, pamiętaj, żeby podliczyć koszty. Remember to research the costs. Złożyć wniosek o wolne. Złożyć wniosek o wolne. To request vacation time. Another important step is, if you are working, you need to złożyć wniosek o wolne. Złożyć wniosek o wolne. Złożyć means to put together, like the literal meaning is to put together, but here we use it as submit something. And a wniosek o wolne is just a form to get vacation. So altogether we can translate as to request vacation time, but literally it just means to submit a form for vacation. And for example, you can say, złożyłeś już wniosek o wolne? Have you already requested vacation time? Złożyłeś już wniosek o wolne? Zarezerwować noclegi. Zarezerwować noclegi. To book accommodations. The next phrase is zarezerwować noclegi. Zarezerwować noclegi. So zarezerwować means to book, and here we are talking about noclegi. Noclegi is a plural form of nocleg, which just basically we translate it easily to accommodation. So zarezerwować noclegi means to book accommodation. And if you've already done this, you can say zarezerwowałam nam wszystkie noclegi. Zarezerwowałam nam wszystkie noclegi. I have booked our accommodations. Zarezerwowałam nam wszystkie noclegi. And actually the same here. Well, zarezerwowałam is for girls, so that's a feminine form. Zarezerwowałam, the ending, while guy would say zarezerwowałem. So the ending is wem. Zarezerwowałam, feminine, and zarezerwowałem, masculine. So choose your form, choose the one to use. And I guess, you've got a wide range of different types of accommodation in Poland. You can choose a very cheap hostel, which we basically call the same hostel, or you can choose hotel. You can go for Airbnb or any kind of this stuff, like the kind of blah 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 again. So you can go for hotel or hostel or Airbnb kind of accommodation. And usually, I guess, the accommodation is not that expensive in Poland, although it depends on the season. And surprisingly enough, for Warsaw, the middle of summer is not high season, so if you want to like visit Warsaw or even Krakow, the middle of summer it should be on the lower season part because people are going to the sea or to the mountains, just taking a break from big cities, so it's maybe the good time to go to big cities as well. Uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. Uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. To obtain an international driving license. Also, a very important thing to do if you want to drive around Poland is to obtain an international driving license. And in Poland we say, or in Polish we say, uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. Uzyskać means to obtain or to get something, or like get profit is the same uzyskać. Międzynarodowe, it means international. Między and this inter is kind of the same part of the word, and national or narodowe is the same part, so it's kind of like a literal translation. Prawo jazdy, driving license. Prawo jazdy, the right to drive. Prawo jazdy. But of course it's driving license. So uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy means to obtain an international driving license. And it's a very important step to do, because if you don't, you will not be able to rent a car and just drive around Poland, which is a very nice thing to do. For example, you can say, aby prowadzić samochód w innych krajach, musisz uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. Aby prowadzić samochód w innych krajach, musisz uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. That was long, but it literally means, or actually it means, aby prowadzić samochód w innych krajach, należy uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. Aby prowadzić samochód w innych krajach, należy uzyskać międzynarodowe prawo jazdy. To drive in another country, you need to obtain an international driving license. Odnowić paszport. Odnowić paszport. To renew your passport. Okay, this is something really not to forget, and that's odnowić paszport. Odnowić means to renew, and paszport is passport. And please, please, please don't forget that, because I personally once did forget, or actually my boyfriend did. So we were almost going to Philippines, and I was like almost going to Philippines. We were at the airport, and they were checking our passports, and they are looking at his passport, and it says only 3 more months valid, and to go to Philippines you need 6 months, which was basically like, well, you clearly can go, but he can't, and I was so furious. So please don't forget to do that. That's like the stupidest thing you can do. So one thing you can say is, muszę sobie odnowić paszport. I need to renew my passport. Muszę sobie odnowić paszport. Spakować się. Spakować się. To pack. Now, when you are almost going, you've got your ticket, you've got your passport, you've got your accommodations. Another thing you can do, or you have to do, is spakować się. Spakować się as a reflexive verb, and it means to pack yourself. Well, actually, it literally means to pack yourself, so we can say to pack as well. And for example, in a sentence, you can use it like this. Spakowałeś się już? Have you already packed? Spakowałeś się już? Thank you for watching. This was Top Polish Words, and today we learned top 10 ways to prepare your travel. So please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Go to polishpod101.com for more videos like this, and please let us know in comments what are your ways to prepare to travel. Thank you again, and see you next time!